be overcome. And this is due to the disruption which is brought about by IoT, social, cloud, and analytics, and their urgency to stay relevant in this rapidly transforming digital world. So today we have got a great panel from JK Technosoft comprising of Rajinder Kamboj, is a progress technology evangelist, and Ankur Gupta is a mobile solution architect. So both of them are going to share their story today, and I'm sure you will have a good time today with both of them. And so, yeah, over to you, Rajinder. Yeah.
Good morning and good evening. This is Rajinder Kamboj, working as a progress architect with JK Technosoft from last many years. I'm having experience with different versions of Progress Open Edge from version 9 to 11.7. Before joining JKT, I was working with Progress Software core development group on Open Edge development and Mobility Framework architecture team during my 4-year stay with Progress Software Corporation. In JKT, I am engaged with the customer mobile journey along with Ankur in domain like manufacturing, finance, insurance, retails, etc.
Hi, good morning and good evening, everyone. This is Ankur Gupta from JK Technosoft, working as mobile solution architect. Have worked with various domains across the globe, industries like finance, logistics, supply chain, healthcare, education, insurance, etc. Apart from that, I've been also associated with the customers' progress, especially and helping them during their mobile transformation journey. As everybody knows about present mobile applications are essential requirement for any enterprise, and as per Gartner latest forecast, legacy modernization will grow 7.5% to reach 150 billion by 2017 and 18. That increased more than 201 billion in 2020. And in 2018, 6 billion connected devices in 5 years, 1 million new devices will come online every hour. Apart from that, 80% of CEOs expect their enterprise apps to be substantially transformed by mobile.
Yes, this is non-fact that organizations are moving towards mobilizing their business application for better user experience. While working with small, medium, and large progress users across industry, I have experienced with common challenges while mobilizing their business. And the first most concern is related to data security.
Yes, of course. This during the transformation journey with many of the customer base across globe, I have seen people are very much concerned about their data. As of now, if you look at the existing progress applications, you'll find users are having their data traveling within this very secure intranet, or I would say local environment. But to make it mobile enabled plus make it integrated, integration enabled with third parties or in a heterogeneous environment where you have distributed architecture. The first concern that comes into the mind of every customer or every business data owner is the risk, and I totally understand this whole thing.
Yeah. This is what people ask me usually.
Yeah, I can understand their pain, Rajinder. Looking at data security, which is has a very critical role to play in the entire mobile transformation, and we must make sure that data should be secure and not available for any kind of unauthorized access. And you know what? While talking to many customers and listening about their past experience, their their thoughts about data and data security, I generally do suggest about 4-layer security model, and this is what I do while designing any of the mobile application. So these are very major concern. Generally, major vulnerabilities that comes for in terms of mobile applications security is the first thing is insecure data storage. So this insecure data storage is only because of the feature that generally offered by enterprise application where we talks about offline capability. So this offline capability now provides a feature to the user where internet is not available still yet their business should not hamper and the user should do smooth operations. But on the at the same time that also increase a chance for data threat. So yeah, that's one area. Apart from that, the weak or I would say no encryption. I have seen in the past when when in the initial stages of mobile transformation, people used to store data on the mobile devices without any encryption or maybe sometime very weak encryption, which can be breached. Apart from that, there is another area of
Concern.
concern is poor authorization or authentication. That also, because mobile application does nothing. Mobile application just represents the business logic which is running on server. And to do that, there has to be a data transformation layer to be established between server and mobile application. And if that layer is not properly secure, then that becomes little little unstable in that case. Apart from that, improper or insufficient transportation layer protection, like generally people thinks about SSL encryption only for web, but it's not the case for any kind of transaction happening between client server environment. Apart from web also, that should be done using proper transportation layer. Then unintended permission. This is very very critical for mobile application standpoint, because every mobile application when you install, that comes by default with some permission. And generally user download the application, don't even think, and generally don't read all the permissions, and then they do installation. That makes your application again little unstable, because your storage somehow is open for other applications. Unauthorized access can happen, which can result into a data lost.
And I have seen this when customers are approaching us and saying that, okay, yes, we are having this problem, that there is some threat we have found in our application where some unauthorized user try to access our database. So same thing which we are suggesting to the solution, and we have implemented the solution with the help of Progress App Server and Progress Pass OE.
Yeah, absolutely. See, as I said in the starting of my discussion, that four-layer security model. So that four-layer security model starts from secure network layer for data transfer using SSL encryption that ensures your data transfer which is happening, the network carrier, the data stream, everything is encrypted. Second solution that I suggest for offline storage is not only encrypt the data, but to encrypt the entire database. That makes sure if by any chance, if any from any tool or from any third party library, if hacker or any program able to extract the database, which is impossible, but still there is a possibility. So what in that case also they will be getting one flat file with some with some junk data in it, which is of no use for them as well. So that's how we ensure the offline storage is secure. Third, the suggestion which I accommodate in my business solution is, and if device is stolen, or if device is jailbroke or rooted, or is there any malware, or maybe if device is there any OS vulnerabilities. In that case, what we suggest, we incorporate functionalities or tools like MDM, industry recognized tools, mobile as known as mobile device management, that applies policies, and through that policies we can control this threat. So I'll give you one example. If a business user is traveling along, with the mobile application in the device, which is also having some business data, and that data is very sensitive, and in case if the device is stolen or lost somewhere, so just a click of a button from server, the entire database can be wiped out. The moment this information wiped out, this application means your threat and your data is completely secure. Once this piece is done, my fourth suggestion comes into the picture, where we talk about authorization. Because as I said earlier, mobile application does nothing. It's just a representation of business logic running on server, being fabricated and displayed on a mobile. So this request and response, or I would say client and server architecture, should run and should happen within a secure, authorized environment. To do that, we come up with some extra security features that we develop and deploy on the server, and that is completely controlled by the application server. So that makes your data traveling, secure, plus your offline storage is secure. Your application, designed in such a way that it can be controlled from the server. So the mobile data, whatever business data you are having, if there is a chance of theft or anything, the whole information can be wiped out. So that's the four-layer security model which is being proposed for any kind of mobile application during the journey.
And to support this, we have implemented the same solution with Progress App Server and Progress PaaS OE. Ankur, most of our progress-based applications are tightly coupled applications, either in a character user interface, graphical user interface, or in a web state.
Yes, Rajinder, I understand that, and this is a very big challenge. I have seen this particular experience in most of the cases during my mobile transformation, where when I saw the UI, because Progress comes and offers various kind of user interfaces, starting from GUI,
yes,
GUI interface, and web speed, right?
Web speed, yes.
Yeah. So while doing this transformation phase, what we do, we have developed one framework that starts the decoupling process. This framework starts with the first stage of this transformation framework is to read the whole business logic, and then once the business logic study is done on the initial level, we ask help from our customers, SMEs, to give their time and to understand the technicality and business requirement of the business logic.
And we are not asking for more than 1 hour of in an entire week from the SMEs, so that we will make it sure that that there is no wastage of time from the customer.
Absolutely. Because in this decoupling framework, this we are not supposed to transform or make change in the whole code, because that will affect the existing proven system.
Yeah.
What our intention is to look into the code, try to extract the piece of code or piece of modules from Progress, whether it is procedural.p or maybe class file.
Yes.
Right. So we look into the code, we try to read the business logic, and once this piece is done, and we actually focus only those areas which can be easily decoupled from the business logic. And once this exercise is done, then our experts come into the picture, where they write the wrappers on top of it, which can be later on deployed on which can be later on developed as a REST service and then deploy on a application server.
And once this wrapper or this source of code is deployed as a REST service, then this REST service we can use as a BI tool as well.
Absolutely, because this REST service is actually now UI independent 100%. So that means Your previous progress application will be running as is the way it was running earlier, and now you have an independent REST layer which is completely independent from UI. It can be consumed with any kind of user interface, any open source or any progress tools, whatever. It totally depends upon users or customers' choice what platform they want to go for. And in the modernization phase, this is very critical because most of the time people has one more doubt, like which platform will compatible with my service, and this is where the expertise comes into the picture, where we talks about no, all kind of platform, whether it is web, mobile, hybrid, everything is available. And since your REST layer is totally independent from user interface for GUI, GUI or web speed, you can consume it in anywhere, and you can run your business smoothly.
Yeah. So, another thing is about availability of mobile application among multiple mobile operating systems. We have iOS, we have Android, and we have Windows Mobile Phone in the market. Then how you will make it sure that your solution cover multiple operating systems?
In many cases, mobile application either B2B or B2C. And when we talk about B2C applications, I strongly recommend native mobile application approach, because native applications are written for a specific platform. They can interact with and take advantage of operating system features and other software that is typically installed on that platform. So I'll give you example. Say for a mobile application and for a business data, if you need your data proper synced with server, and is there any big data which is available on server, you have to download that. So your Android and iOS both comes along with built-in features like download manager. You just need to invoke. And that can be done very easily from native mobile application source code. From there, you can just make a call to these APIs which are integrated and available within your phone, and your application can call, and then your business can execute. You know what? This is the benefit of going with native application approach. But in case of B2B, we have to follow hybrid mobile applications, because people want their applications availability across the mobile platform. And for hybrid application, the combines both of best of both native and HTML5 words. Also, we do not need separate source code for different operating system, and this is where hybrid getting success, because going with native application development approach, you have to manage, or maybe customer has to manage, multiple source code repositories for Android, for iOS, and if they need Windows as well. But going with hybrid approach, it is very easy, because hybrid approach can be developed once and distribute anywhere by using some special packaging mechanism. Yes, there are challenges. So first challenge is, and very valid challenge, is how an hybrid application can consume native functionalities, just like we discussed the download manager. So the answer for that is plugins. These plugins are native plugins which can interact with your hybrid, or I would say HTML layer, and pass on the data from native layer to HTML layer. This is the additional effort that we need to make in order to work, in order to make hybrid application work on the different operating system environment. But the benefit, as I already discussed, one source code, multi-platform, and which can run on without any issue.
Yeah, so hybrid mobile application can be run on multiple platforms without building different builds, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, as you have addressed security, REST service in decoupling process, and build multiple platform hybrid mobile application. So the question which I am getting most of the time is like, is there any special infrastructure we required for mobile application?
No, I don't think so. As most of the Progress users are using OpenEdge 11, and OpenEdge 11 is having built-in REST adapters which can make deployment easy for REST services. Also, if you look at latest offering from Progress OpenEdge, they have added Pacific Application Server, which is also scalable by default and comes up with some extra security features.
In as like in a past, we are having a OE realm, that's OAuth, and that's the latest additions by the Progress.
Correct, Rajinder. Yes, these are the latest offering from OE Realm. Actually, OE Realm and some other security measures being taken care by Pacific Application Server, and these are the added features commonly known as Spring Security Framework for services authorization, what we have discussed earlier. But there is a discussion also. Sometimes people come and say, "Okay, do I really need Pacific Application Server to deploy our REST services and make it more secure?"
Yeah, many customers ask me this same question, that since PaaS is not that much mature and it's just new in the market, so we are having a PaaS adapter, right? We are having an app server adapter. So can we deploy our mobile application and by in a REST adapter?
Absolutely, we can do that, and we have done this kind of implementation in the past, where customer wanted us the REST services to be enabled, and at the same time, they also wanted these REST services to be secure from any unauthorized or unwanted access by implementing the Spring Security.
So talking about security, which Progress has added in PaaS OE, Realm, OAuth, and other security features, and these security features can be implemented in a REST adapter as well in a previous earlier version.
Absolutely. These security measures can be implemented and integrated with the REST-based solutions, not only with PaaS, in the previous version of Progress offering as well, from 11.2 onwards. That the OE Realm, and other Spring Security framework, which have been added, into the system and released with Progress Pacific Application Server in the latest releases. These security measures are also freely available as an open source, so can be download and integrate with the solution to make sure the REST services are secure.
Okay. Some cases where a customer is having multiple end customers, what is your opinion on multi-client with multiple environment model?
Yeah. We have seen some of the cases where customers, our end customers are having their own end customers. So this is kind of a distributed customer environment where our customer, needed an application, with some customer-based branding. So they need kind of solution which can be easily plugged, configured, and on top of it secure. So I'll give you one example. In our very recent implementation, one of the customers came to us and was in a requirement that their end customers, they were having multiple end customers, and all the customers were having little bit same kind of requirement. One mobile application was needed, and one the backend services to be configured in such a way that can be consumed with the mobile. So the mobile application implementation have been developed keeping in mind that since there are multiple end customers, so each end customer will have their own branding. So starting from logo to color combination, text size, look and feel, everything will be different from the other. So the application being developed in this way that it can be easily configured, and to do that, the person who is doing the packaging and branding does not need to be technical. Any person can go and make changes and package the application and then distribute it. This is what the one feature. And another feature, was and I'm discussing you because this is very interesting topic here.
Okay.
Rajinder, one of the customer came to us and asked for one very specific requirement from the infrastructure side, where they needed on the security front, they needed an application. They do not want to expose their end URL, REST URL, from some security reasons.
Okay.
But they need some kind of, but they need at the same time they also need and wanted their mobile application to be interactive. Some kind of they wanted to have some kind of URL redirect, or you can say proxy sort of configuration. So we proposed a solution and then we implemented it, that for our end customers on their web server, we did configuration on a web server, that every request coming from mobile or from other sources was coming and hitting the web server, which is placed on a different location, and internally it was being redirected to their end customers environment. And if you try to do the security testing, security testing is again a very important role to play in the heterogeneous, or I would say distributed environment. Security testing is very important. So when you do security testing, you won't be able to identify, you won't be able to track it down where the request is actually going. So this is something what we did, and we did this. It was implemented, is in place, and people are using, and they are kind of loving it, because this is again a part of data security.
So this is like one product used by the multiple end customers, and their customers are having a multiple users. No one is knowing that either it is a organization product or some third party product.
Yes, absolutely, Rajinder.
So as you have provided solution to the customer in mobile transformation, let's have a discussion on mobile transformation architecture you suggest to the customers.
Sure, Rajinder. So mobile transformation architecture, if you look at it, you will find, it is generally start with the progress layer. As you can see on the screen, it has, because progress provides multiple offerings. These offerings from the UI side are starting with GUI interface, then you have a GUI interface, you have web speed. But what happens is, if you go with this kind of approach, these applications are very tightly coupled in nature, and to be on the while we were being in the transformation phase, it was really difficult and a big challenge to look into the code, extract the business piece out, which can be later on consumed by mobile application. So the answer is very simple. Transformation starts with the entire business logic. Once this business logic is done, the experts come into the picture, and these experts will interact with customers SMEs and do the technical evaluation of the program, and then identify the areas which can be later on consumed as a REST services, and then can be deployed. So once this transformation piece is done, we come on to third phase of the architecture, where we develop the REST layer and deploy it on REST adapter. So for the customer base who are having does not have specific application server, REST adapter is the key. And if the customers are having specific application server available in the instance in the infrastructure, which can be deployed on the REST specific application server as well. Once this phase is done, we come on to phase point number 4, where the web server is needed. These web servers are actually the the gate for the customer request coming from outer world. And to make it secure, we also recommend and we set up firewall to prevent any unauthorized access coming back from mobile application or from some other sources. Because once this REST layer is ready, you find it very simple, because as you see, progress layer is as is, means your existing proven ERP program is running the way it was earlier, but you also have got one more offering from progress as of in the form of REST adapter, in the form of REST service, which can be later on consumed by any mobile application. And if you look at the architecture, you will find there are multiple kind of client layers. The first layer can be a native mobile application platform like iOS and Android. You can have hybrid platforms like Telerik, Kendo, Native State, Cordova, or if you want to consume it, you can consume it with web applications as well, which has been developed through HTML5, Angular, jQuery, means you name it. You name any of the framework that can consume these REST services directly and do your business processing. And on top of this whole thing, this entire architecture runs on HTTP. So that makes your end-to-end security ensured, means your data security is, your data is traveling in a secure environment. If you look at this whole architecture, there are benefits. The first benefit, your existing application is running as is. The first layer, progress. Second, your UI layer, your REST layer is being developed, which is another offering from progress. Third, it becomes UI independent, so any kind of client, whether you want to go with tech stack provided by progress, or you can go with some other platforms, you can go and consume these services. This is the transformation architecture.
Yeah. So we have witnessed and participated in number of mobile transformation journeys with our customers, and I feel it will be a good to have a discussion on real-time case study, and let's quickly discuss that case study.
Yes, Ravinder, sure. I'll quickly discuss one case study here. This was the case. We have developed an application for one client, is in States, who is a premier in transportation and logistics provider and having warehouse across the globe.
And their application is in a character user interface, and there is a tightly coupled, although they try to uncouple it by writing the actual programs, but still their 80% of application is tightly coupled.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. The business challenge was, they were, as I told you, they were having warehouses across the globe, and they do inventory management, but their warehouse was not smart enough, or I would say not the digital warehouse sort of thing, where you have inventory management which is done by manual data entry. They have special devices, there's special hardware, I would say, which comes along some integrated industry scanners, and some special device which is not a phone, of course, but an Android platform integrated. So their requirement was actually into multiple areas. First is to automate the entire process. Second one, to collect the evidence of any damaged goods received, or coming in or going out from warehouse. Third one, if we can integrate, or if we can provide reporting mechanism on the fly across the warehouses, multiple locations, as well as reporting for management team. And on top of it, the main thing was the predictive analytics. They want to have some kind of predictions. They want to measure the efficiency level of the warehouse workers, in different scenarios. So these are the business challenges.
Like they want to find out that which warehouse user or warehouse workforce person is efficient at what time. So let's discuss about proposed solution, which is let's discuss about the proposed solution which we have provided to our this customer.
Yeah, sure. So, Rajinder, this is the proposed solution architecture overview. If you look at it, the mobile application was developed using Kendo UI-based framework. Approach was taken for hybrid development. Here, the integration, what we did the integration of industrial scanner, and as discussed earlier, this scanner was being integrated through plugins, as I discussed earlier. Once the application was done, Then the second phase came into the picture where we were focusing on the transformation of existing progress business logic. So the entire business logic we did not transform. We looked into the code. We tried to see the possibilities of only those modules which can be independently developed as a REST service and can be deployed over the REST adapter. Apart from that, there were two more integration that we did. One is the reporting, as I discussed earlier, for the warehouse and across the platform, across the multiple locations. Second one is the predictive analytics, which has been developed in two different phases. First phase is to see the see the just the efficiency of workers, on a hourly based pattern. So we wrote our own algorithm and we designed the pattern, so time based pattern design which we followed in order to the data which is available on in the progress database and coming from mobile application to judge the efficiency of each field force worker, and for example, which field worker is more efficient on which particular time of the day. So that becomes very easy for supervisor, while allocating the job. And the second phase of this predictive analytics is in place, already under development, where we are trying to develop the recommendation engine. This recommendation engine will be used while scheduling the task, and this will be helpful for the supervisors, because now our predictive analytics is there, data is available. So my recommendation system what do, it will go check and get it done, verify the you know and let everyone know, let supervisor know that for a particular task which particular field force user is more capable than the other.
So by this applying the solution, we have added the value addition to the business. So let's just discuss a little more about what value we have added to the customer.
Yes, absolutely, Rajendra. There were a couple of value addition being done to the business. As you can see, the inward process of physical inventory check was completely automated. Data accuracy increased up to 99.99%. Still, there is a 0.001% of chance. And because of the data is getting transferred across over the cloud to the progress system in a real time. So your timely updates and tracking of the shipment become very easier, and timely update to the warehouse for the entire inventory got appreciation as well. The second benefit what customer has got is the predictive analytics, which I just explained in detail. The first phase has done the is already in place. Second phase for the recommendation we are working on. This will be released in our next planned release. Third is the reporting, which was not there at all in the system, but now it is quite easily available. So for the management team and for the MIS team sitting in the background, it will be easy for them to look at the warehouse from the high level, get the data. There will be a dashboard where user is the MIS team members and management team can go and see what all is happening. So every ground report is available on the screen using the web interface, again developed using Kendo UI.
So we have developed this solution on a Kendo UI based UI. So can you please explain more about what are all alternates we have for Kendo UI?
Yeah, sure. See, from Progress onward, Progress technical stack, there are multiple offerings. So very known and proven platform is Telerik that comes along for mobile application development. And as you can see, this particular platform offers mobile application development, but only in hybrid platform, where you can use either Kendo UI or native script, and you can use a customized version of Angular and then Progress OpenAge. So this platform is also available, and the beauty of this platform is 24/7 tech support. So if you step at any point of time, that progress technical team comes into the picture and help you out. Also, there is a benefit of using this platform because as I discussed in the hybrid platform, you always need plugins, and these plugins sometimes can be very pain because in some of the operating system and some of the platforms one plugin is working and the same plugin is not working. So for that reason also, you will need Telerik verified plugin, which is being done and already available from the Telerik site. It is available for every user free of cost. Go download, package inside your application and develop it. And another thing is to do a development in Telerik, you don't need a local setup. Everything is web based. So you only need valid credential to the Telerik. Go log in, develop your application, provide developer credential, package your application, and distribute. It has its own private cloud as well. So these are the offerings from Telerik. Another offering from Progress is Kinway.
So this is the latest addition into the Progress family. So Kinway is recently acquired by the Progress.
Yes. This is again another advantage of another added family member in Progress. The difference between Kinway and Telerik is in Telerik you have, if you needed to develop an application, you can go with hybrid application development only. But going with Kinway, that gives you multiple development offerings. You want to develop native application, but you want to stick to Progress family. You can develop Android, iOS, hybrid application, native or jQuery, any kind of a platform in the Kinway using SDK. Once this is done, you have open source community, and believe me, you name it, any kind of technology, any technology framework, you name it, that is available and can be integrated with your REST service layer. As I discussed earlier, because you have already released your entire source code in the form of REST layer, which is UI independent. So that UI layer can now interact with any user interface framework. You just need a valid JSON contract between a client and server. Once this contract is established, you can consume this inside your application, and you can get going.
Well, this is all about mobile transformation journey from our side. Thank you for listening to us, and we apologize for the glitch. And I'm ready with that.
Hi, good afternoon, folks. I think thanks for your questions. I can see all of you have stayed on for this session. Once again, big apology. And we'll just quickly try to wind up. I'll take a few questions which have come on the screen. And we will then ask you to send your questions to your email. Okay? So I've just one question which is regarding, so the question says, in the beginning you mentioned using REST for BI. What would the benefit be of using REST instead of migrating the Progress database to MS SQL and doing BI on the MS SQL database? So can any of you take it?
Yeah, I will take it. This is Rajinder Kamboj. So the question is like, what is the benefit of having a REST or BI instead of migrating the data to MS SQL or BI? So the answer is we are in our solution we are not using MS SQL. We are just capturing the data from Progress database, processing it, and showing on the dashboard. There's no use of MS SQL. So if you are using for MS SQL, moving the data from Progress DB to my SQL server, so you are using one extra database for store just for the BI purpose. I hope I will be able to answer your question.
Hi, this is Ankur. And to add on to it, for doing the migration, this one will be done, generally using some ETL tools. So since this Progress database is also capable enough to do process the big data and provide help predictive analytics framework for any kind of prediction. this one is also quite possible, using Progress database. I hope I've given you answer, right? Over to you, Uttam.
Yeah, I think that was fine. I think we will not take any more questions now, but please feel free to leave your questions on the chat window, or we will, come back to you if you can get back to us on the email. So thank you, folks. Thanks all of you for the patient hearing, and it was great to have you here today. And in case you have any questions, please come back to us on the email on the screen, which is marketing@jktech.com, and we'll endeavor to answer. Just to let you know that we will be doing a few more webinars in this series, and so please watch out for the date. Okay, thank you. Have a great evening and a great afternoon. Thank you.